morning. It's 20 past 8. Still to come at 8:30, we've got your news and your weather, plus the latest sports headlines and music from Dublin singer, songwriter Anne Scott at 8:45. She was cracking in the break as well.
She was brilliant, wasn't she? But first, Nick McDonald's company, who are called Trade with Precision, teaches members of the public how to profit from playing the global market. Is with us this morning. Maybe at the moment people would be more afraid than, enthusiastic about the markets.
Absolutely, and there's a lot of negative reporting out there saying that people are losing money. They hear about investment banks losing money. Just because investment banks are losing money due to their risk management principles doesn't mean that people at home need to do the same. There is money to be made out there in the markets right now.
Why do you think that people are so afraid? Is it purely because of the credit crunch and they think that it would be a risk to their own finances if they were to invest in this way?
I think so. I think there's a little bit, they're not quite educated to the point they know what they can do. And with the negative reporting, say for example, a similar thing happens in the housing market. When markets go up, there tends to be negative reporting about it. Now when markets go down in the housing market, tends to be some negative reporting about that. Truth is, you can make money both ways. And particularly in markets, I trade currency markets. Markets go up, markets go down, and you can profit both ways from doing that. So I think with the press reporting markets going down, the value of sterling going down, people think it must be a bad time to be trading. Actually, it doesn't matter which way it's going, you can make money whichever way.
Now, if somebody wants to start trading, is it really hard, or can anyone kind of pick it up?
It's simple. It couldn't be easier to get started. In fact, as a profession, it has probably got the lowest overheads of any profession. You can start with a few £100s. So literally a few £100, you can put it into a trading account. We help people get all set up, right from understanding the basics to getting an account set up, to knowing where you can access the data, the market data, and then having a strategy, just a nice basic strategy to get you started. Now it's like anything, like when you learn to ride your bike, you fall off your bike, you get back on, you fall off again, you graze your knee, you get back on, you learn from your mistakes. And in trading, you keep your money nice and small, so you learn from your mistakes. You will lose a little bit of money to start with, more than likely. Mistakes cost you money in the markets. You learn from them, you get back on, you keep on going.
I suppose people will think, though, won't they, if it's that easy, why is everybody not doing it? And, if you are doing it, how do you avoid getting your fingers burnt?
Don't get me wrong, I won't say it's an easy profession. It's easy to get started, and just like any profession, it takes time. Like you're not sitting here on this couch today because you just went on a course for one day and suddenly here you are.
We did.
Like most professions. So it does take a little bit of time. It takes time to get there. A pilot doesn't become a pilot by going on a one-day workshop and then suddenly they're a pilot. They have to be mentored, they have to be guided, they have to be watched what they're actually doing, and they get better at doing that. And it's the same in trading. Do
you have to be a good gambler or a risk taker? Because I suppose it's not for the faint-hearted, is it? I suppose, if you're sat at home and you're a bit cautious, then you wouldn't be a good trader, would you?
Actually, no. The complete opposite. It is. You need to be cautious. You need to manage your risk, and trading is all about managing risk. Even if you had no knowledge whatsoever about where the market was likely to go, if you managed your risk, you still wouldn't lose your money. And there's some of these investment banks that have lost everything. Clearly, there was a risk management problem there because they lost money, even though they're meant to have some idea of where the markets are going. But no, if you manage your risk very well, then you know in advance before every single trade you place how much you could lose on that trade. And if you're risk averse, you can set that amount to be very, very small.
Will stocks and shares still be volatile for what, next 12 months, 2 years?
I imagine so. In this environment, particularly stocks, they will be.
And so where would you be investing your money at the moment?
Right now, just to be clear, I don't invest, I trade, so it's very short term.
Right.
An investor would put money in and hold for a long period of time. I trade, so I could be in a trade for minutes, more likely a few hours or a few days. Now, at the moment, I mostly focus on currencies, so the currency markets are really, really moving. We have things like a falling pound, which I'm sure everybody has heard about, but we also have a rising dollar, a rising Japanese yen. At the same time, we have a falling New Zealand dollar. So things like if you look at the New Zealand dollar versus the Japanese yen, for example, it's moving very nicely in one direction. And if it's moving in that direction, that's when it's a great time for us to profit from it.
So you're holding a seminar in Manchester tonight to talk about all this and, introduce people into the world of training. So if anybody wants to get down there, where should they go and what time does it all start?
Yep, so it's at the Radisson Edwardian Hotel. It's at 6 p.m. tonight. Well, it starts at 6:30. If they want to get a seat, they should get there for 6 p.m. Come along, we'll buy you a glass of wine, and we will take you through exactly what we do, exactly how we do it.
And it's free?
It's free. It's free to come along tonight.
Good to see you today. Thanks very much for joining us, Nick.
Thank you.
Coming up in